morning, everyone, and welcome to Viva Cafe con Leche. I'm the badass Buddha, Lori Monaco, and the Gladiator Guru is on her way. She sent me a message about 5 minutes to 8 and said that she is just settling in. And look, there she is. There we go. Woohoo! Look at that beautiful scenery.
Isn't it?
That's nice. I just literally started. So good morning, Gladiator Guru. How
Buenos días.
are you? Go ahead and introduce yourself.
Hola, mi gente, aquí con la Margarita, your gladiator guru. And it's hot today. And we are in Triacastela, Spain. I have 1, 2.
It's
maybe
beautiful over there.
Yes, it is.
Is that one of the places that you're staying at, or you just found a cafe?
No, we're staying here. We walked from Ocebreiro, the mystical mountain, this morning. So this is our stop.
Yeah, I saw the pictures. I finally actually went on and acknowledged people on my social media. And I was going through all your stuff. And yeah, so tell us about your journey over the last, couple of days.
Fantastic. We stayed in several little towns that were just beautiful, met great people. Yesterday we were in the mystical mountain of druids and witches, and we had a good time there. And then this morning we left, walked through a forest, and came down here. So we should be in Santiago by the 3rd.
Are you ahead of schedule?
No, we're like 2 days behind, but
Okay.
we'll be there by the 3rd if we keep going the way we're going.
So how much did you walk? How many miles did you walk over the last, since we saw you on Thursday? So Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday.
One of them was 10.9. One of them was 12 miles, and another one was 9. We just walked until we drop. We go to bed early. It's exhausting.
And how many miles, do you know how many miles you've walked total so far?
Well, we only have, out of the 790, we only have like 155 kilometers left.
Wow.
So, but you break that up in a couple days. There's people walking like 50 kilometers a day. I'm like, we're not doing that. But yeah, so I mean, we're debating because we got to go to Murcia and then spend a couple days before we leave on the 12th. So we like to be in Santiago a couple days with our friends. But yeah, it's been good. Yeah, Gail, we are not doing, like, one day we'll get up and we're like, we're not walking 18 kilometers today. We're doing max 11 because we walked, 17 the day before. So we walk as we feel. We don't follow any trend. We don't follow who's walking where. We're like, okay, bye.
Good.
And half the time we're at the cafe in the morning till about 9 o'clock. Everybody's taking off at 7:30. So we're good. We're good. We've seen a lot of exciting things. We just entering this village. Was over 800-year-old tree. So we got pictures with that, and I was hugging it. So that was beautiful. That's like one of the landmarks here. Like, you have to see that tree. It's all gnarly. It's beautiful. We have pictures, so I'll post. But the sunset from last night, that if I didn't take that picture, I wouldn't think it was a real picture. It was phenomenal. Like, we just sat there late at night just watching it. No, Kathy, I had to stop at a pharmacy and get these. So thank you for asking. But yeah, no, nobody reported. They probably fell off the edge of when we were climbing up. I don't know. Good riddance, because I have new glasses and I don't wear them all the time. Like the ones I wear in Viva, my red ones and my round ones, as soon as Viva's over, I take them off because I'm so used to those 5-year-old ones. So I guess good riddance to that.
Well, there you go. So how's everybody feeling? You sound good. You sound better.
Better. We had to stop at a pharmacy a couple days ago I still got the drip, nothing comes up. Iris has it with the phlegm coming up, so she has it a little worse. But I can't complain.
How's Iris's knee?
It's better. Been walking more. She likes going up. I like going down. Of course, we're gonna be on opposite spectrums with certain things, but it doesn't hurt her as much going up as it does coming down.
Yeah. Yeah.
So it's better, and we're good. We stopped at this pharmacy here when we first came in to get some, and then we go in the room, and I told some people I'm coughing. They all said, "So are we." I'm like, "Good, we'll have a symphony tonight of cough." So, because I feel bad, you know.
Are
But
you now when you go to sleep at night, are you like out, like or because you guys have been walking so much and are tired, like so even if there is coughing, are you just
I
so
don't hear
tired? You're
I don't
so
hear nothing. Iris gets up throughout the night. She'll come outside or whatever, but not me. I'll cough and then I go right to sleep. I'm not she has had vertigo for the last 2 days, real dizzy, sick,
yeah,
nauseous.
that's not a place you
But
want to have that.
well, because we were
Yeah.
up 1,300 feet up in the mountain.
Yeah.
So, yeah, she got it on the last mountain, but this one that we climbed yesterday was and then we stood there. So yeah, I don't. She's a little better today.
Oh, good.
But
Oh,
that's it. That's it. It's beautiful. I love it. I have no complaints. We're going at our own rhythm. It's not like the other caminos. It's totally different. I'm totally different. Um, working on I've been smiling when people hospitality wise. And then some I can't smile. And but other than that, everything's been fine. We've met great people.
I loved your video of when you put the wood with everybody's names that you lost, and I just thought that was very beautiful, that whole rock thing. And then but I love that you used wood and yours like was set apart, but that was beautiful. Tell us a little bit about that place.
But that's the when you reach El Cruz de Ferro, that's the middle part of the Camino. You've reached the halfway point. And what that is, all those rocks you've seen us climbing down. When I took a picture, somebody was walking down. All of those rocks are rocks that people have left over all these years that came up to the top, the rim of the cross. And I try to get videos of pictures of, people left, jewelry, some clothing items. That is where, at the beginning of your Camino in St. John, they say you pick up a stone and you carry it. And that's where you lay down your burdens, your sorrows, your grief, your guilt. So you lay down things. So along with all the names I put, I laid down my necklace I was wearing the whole way. That picked up any of my energy, negative energies, and everything I just wanted to just release. So that's why you see the necklace there amongst the names of it. And Iris left her father's funeral card there. There was this man who was crying. He had his wife's picture laminated around him, but I don't think he could have left it there. So yeah, we sat there and we watched people for a good while before we went up there. Then we met a whole family of Puerto Ricans. So here we are singing on the top of that thing, "Que bonita bandera." And so that was really cool. We got so excited to meet a whole family of Puerto Ricans, and I think 2 of them were from Boston. So it was pretty cool.
Were they all from like the States, or were some of them right directly from?
I think some of them were directly from PR, but when they asked where we were from and we said Connecticut, 2 of them was like, "Oh, we're from Boston," and the other ones were just, we took group pictures with them. They were as excited as we were, so it was pretty cool.
Wonderful.
Yeah.
Oh, that's so great. It's definitely there's definitely a different energy about you. And it's very cool to witness it. And this really also bodes well with what we've been talking about all month, which is the push month. This is the last week of May. We're already at the end of May.
I
This is
know.
the last 2 days of Viva are in May. And we've been talking about pushing ourselves, getting out of that comfort zone. And today's conversation is beyond limits. And this is a prime example. Like Gladiator Guru's journey right now is a real prime example of what happens when you just push yourself a little bit more. Freddie is saying hi. Hi, Iris. Love you, girl. And Madeline says you both look and sound refreshed.
Yeah, you do. You look awesome.
The irony is I'm loaded with poison ivy. I've got it like all over me, all over my, whatever. But it's so funny. Like I have it everywhere on my body. Like some of it's clustered and then others it's spread out a little bit. But it's so funny. It's my own fault because usually I'm really good and careful, and I decided to be a rebel. And it was a hot day, and I'm like, screw it. I'm going to weed in this one area where I know there's poison ivy in my shorts and my tank top. So that's what I get.
Oh my goodness.
But I do want to say to Gail, Gail was on a call last night, our mind, body, spirit, wellness meetup group and meet and greet. And Gail said to use witch hazel and baking soda. So I did an experiment, and I put it on one arm and wrapped it so that it would stay on. And then I left my control group on the other arm so that I could see if there was a difference. And there definitely was. It definitely dried it out. So I am going to wrap the other arm tonight. I'm going to wrap both arms, and so I could get rid of it faster. But I've been putting everything on. I've been putting all kinds of natural stuff on. And it is getting better faster than I had anticipated, which is great because I've had it for it'll be almost a week. Usually it takes me longer, especially the amount that I've had on me. So anyway.
Oh my God. If I would have talked to you, I would have said, just lather up some Vicks on that, baby.
The Vicks, you and your Vicks.
Put the Vicks on. Gail, I am. And I'll give you, for instance, we met this beautiful soul in Las Heredias at the foot of the mountain that we stood at. And we were just talking, and she was asking advice. And then she's like, sometimes, I don't know what to do. I said, just breathe. Sometimes you just got to breathe in the beauty and breathe out the bullshit. She goes, oh my God, I love that. So yesterday, when we reached the mountain, we were starving, so we go to order breakfast, right? And like I'm saying, my focus is to be smiles, and we're looking at the menu. So I go to the lady, 3 Americanos, right? Like this, pointing up. So then she's getting something ready, and then I said, could you not put bacon on one of them? Well, this lady, bless her heart, slams the saucers of the coffee cups, slams and goes, well, you should have told me that. I don't really know that it wasn't the coffee, that she was gonna get 3 Americanos. And I just felt that I said, I'm ordering what you have written on your menu. Well, Iris said that my face looked, she said, Iris said, I squeezed my butthole so tight. She goes, I was so afraid. I guess my face said more than my mouth. And I still had my finger up, like up to the menu. And I look at Iris, and Iris is like, oh my God. And I look at the girl, and she said to me, breathe in the beauty. And I said, oh yeah, real loud, looking at the lady. I'm going to breathe in the beauty because I'm definitely breathing out the bullshit. Iris, they both said they thought I was going to jump over the counter to that lady. That's how bad she slammed those plates over her miscommunication. So I calmed down. After I said my own mantra, I calmed down, and we went outside. And I had to thank them both because, I've always talked about like I don't like it. Don't disrespect just because you misunderstood. So, and I was like kind of I've been doing so good, since the last encounter with the guy at the coffee shop. I've been really working on myself. But then I reached a point, there's no excuse for disrespect. There's just none. And maybe she did that all morning to people. And maybe after me, she was going to take her own breath of beauty, because you can't do that. And she just let me tell you, she must have read my face, because shortly after she turned around, she goes, "And how would you like your coffee?" And then she smiled at me the rest of the
Was
time.
she being nice or was she being condescending?
Nice. Oh, like,
Okay.
"Hello, pretty. How would you like your coffee? ¿Y tú?" And like she got it like this. So sometimes I guess I'm that person that has to like straighten out the line so that the other people don't have to suffer. I don't know what it was, but
No,
I'm
but
happy.
you know what? This is really interesting because there was a couple of notes that I took for today's conversation, and you said something really key to this with that kind of goes along with doesn't kind of go along, does go along with the notes. So you just taught somebody to breathe in the beauty and breathe out the bullshit. And then the teacher became the student. It was a necessity that you put it out there to teach, and then it came back to you to be reminded. So today's conversation is beyond the limits, and it goes along with the conversation of getting out of our comfort zone. And so I just want to read a couple of things and then tie it into that, and then we can I love the stories because the stories are really bringing it home. So beyond limits, that's what today's conversation is. Beyond limits means a determination and a willingness to step outside of one's comfort zone to break free from self-imposed limitations or those that are inherent in one's physical abilities. So the questions you want to ask yourself are, and I always think of Gail, because Gail's always talking about the powerful questions to ask. And or what do you refer to it as, Gail? The empowering questions. Type it in there. It's what do you want? Why do you want it? And what are you going to do to get it? And so remember the expression: if it's important to you, you'll find a way. If not, you'll find an excuse. And now sometimes the excuse can be fear, but it's still an excuse. Okay, it might not be a good excuse, but it's still an excuse. Okay, and sometimes it is a good excuse. So these are the questions that you can further ask yourself, empowering questions, right? So what can you do on your own? So if you decide, okay, this is what I want, this is why I want it, and what I'm going to do to get it, and then what part of that can I do on my own? Okay. Then what can you ask others to assist you with? So in this case, sometimes it's not even that you ask them. See, Gladiator Guru imparted her wisdom to somebody, and then it came back to her, which means that what she said sunk into the person, and the person understood how it worked, and then was able to give it back to her in a very loving manner, not like condescending, like, oh, remember, breathe in the beauty, breathe out. She said it as like a gentle reminder, and then Gladiator Guru was receptive she was willing to receive it, because she wasn't in a headspace to say, fuck the breathe in the beauty, breathe out the bullshit. I'm going to be, this lady's being an asshole. And that's the beauty of it. See, when we think of beyond limits, we're thinking of ourselves, and of course, because we have to get beyond our own limits, but also think of it in these terms, because sometimes it pushes you more. If you go beyond your limits, how does it affect the people around you in a positive way? Like if you say, I want to be a better person, I want to be happier every day, I want to be more joyful, I want to explore, I want to travel. How is that affecting you and other people around you? Maybe it's inspiring other people. Maybe not. Maybe it's pissing other people off because you're doing things and they're not. But that's not your problem. The point is that you move forward in a positive way on your path. And then you will find those people that are going to say, you know what? I wouldn't have done it had it not been for you. Or I didn't think of it that way had you not made me think of something else. And it doesn't have to be you teaching it. It's just living it. And so we have to say things to ourselves like catch ourselves. Okay. When we say, I can't do that, oh, I can't do what Gladiator Guru's doing. Number one, I don't think I could walk that far. Number two, I don't have the money. Number three, I don't have the time. Often we say we can't do something. Can't is actually standing for I won't.
I won't.
I won't means, so can't means when we say we can't do something, it means that we actually, it's can't means being unable to do something due to lacking the necessary ability to do it. Okay. So if that question comes and say, I can't do it, like I can't get to Spain to walk the Camino because, and you put the reasons in. I'm very careful with my words. I didn't say excuse. I just said reasons. Okay. Now, what can you do to address these reasons? I don't have enough money. What can you do to make enough money? I don't have the time. What can you do to make enough time for yourself? Maybe compact your vacation. Maybe cut the walk short and not do a walk for a month. Maybe do it 2 weeks and add on, a sick time. And say, so it's about, I don't have the ability to do it, but I have the resources because I'm a resilient person and I can be able to do it. Won't is that you're not willing to. So if you say I can't, but really mean I won't, it means that you're not willing, it's not a priority, or it simply doesn't hold enough importance. And won't is a contraction of the two words will not, will and not, and will is defined as possessing the desire to do something. And if you really truly, and this is where we have to be honest with ourselves. If you have to say, do I really have the desire to do this? If you're not a hiker, if you don't like walking and you don't like sweating and you don't like being outside, the Camino's not your thing. Don't guilt yourself about it. Don't sit there. There are many ways to enlighten yourself. You could go and spend a weekend on a silent retreat in a monastery. They have them. They're very cheap.
And they have them here.
And you go for a weekend and you just sit in silence. But this is about you. It's finding what really you want, driving, creating.
Let me tell you.
Tell me.
This might not be for a lot of people because I know my daughter wouldn't come here and stay in the albergue, sleeping in a room with 12 bunk beds and all types of people in it. But when I came on my Portuguese one, I knew I wanted to come because I was carrying my mother's ashes and my funds were very low. And I actually purchased my tickets months in advance. And then when it was time to come, because whatever was going on with the house and everything, I only had $750. And then through the blessings of the tribe and family members, they were donating $5 here for a cup of coffee, $15 there, $20 there. And that's how, for $8, you're sleeping somewhere safe for the night. For $3, you're having an orange juice, café con leche, and a croissant for breakfast. So I'm not saying everybody should do this, but I'm thinking, look at me. I know Barbie. I don't be hiking unless I'm on the Camino. It was a whole group of us talking about how back home we get in the car just to go up the street to the corner store. And here we're walking hours and hours for something, right? So what I'm saying is, and Gail wrote something about different priorities. You should always be your top priority.
Yeah.
So if you can't do the Camino for whatever reasons, we heard somebody tell us that there was actually a woman walking. Iris, what was it? She was walking with, she had uterine cancer, like the last stages, right?
Oh.
And she decided that before she was gonna ascend, she was gonna do this Camino. When I tell you we walk with 90-year-olds, we walk literally 90-year-olds. We walk with 19-year-olds. I mean, the gap of all languages, of all backgrounds, of all, anything. It's so. I sit back and I'm like, wow, I am experiencing this world where I would never do it otherwise, and I'm enriching my life with it. And yes, back to Jacinta. she's going through a whole stuff on her own. She's under 30, and she was so like she subscribed to our show and everything. And when we got our breakfast and sat down, her and Iris almost said at the same time how my face, all they felt from my energy was that I was going to jump over that counter. Now, mind you, I'm not trying to be that person anymore. I'm working really hard on it, and that's what makes me very proud of myself. Her looking at me and whispering within the beauty was so like Mr. Miyagi over here. That's what she felt. Wax on, wax off, right? And so it's like deflated really quick. So we are, it's like I mentioned a couple shows ago, how I've been, when I speak to people, I don't know, it just through conversation, we are every day we are the student and we are the teacher, and we must be open to receive as we give. So it was a great gift. Um, it bothered me a bit, but it was such a quick thing of temper, and then the aftermath, how the woman's whole attitude change, that had to happen. And I'm always the messenger in my lifetime, so I'm okay with that. But what I won't tolerate is disrespect from anybody. I'm not, just you misunderstood. So I know I'm gonna always have those moments where I'm gonna pop off, like you're talking to me. We're not having that. And sometimes people need to be checked, like I needed to be reminded. And so when we go beyond our limits, it does, when we're reminded of something, like to tighten up isn't always going to be good, or it will be good. But like for her, maybe she needed that reminder. I don't know what happened to her
Right.
that morning, and it's
Yep.
not my business.
That's right.
And I'm not your garbage disposal. But being here on the Camino, like I don't know when I'll come back. Iris and I've been talking. I don't know when I'll come back, because now I'm so focused on walking every day, being in my now. And sometimes we'll sit down when it's just us, and I'll say, okay, when I go back, I have this agenda, but I don't really delve into that agenda. I just know, you know, one, two, three, the first priorities. Um, and as I'm walking, it's like in my mind, I'm thinking, and sometimes we just need to get away. We just need to get away. And as the badass Buddha said, even if it's for a weekend, even if it's a full 24, absolutely nothing. I think we all deserve to gift ourselves that time well spent and not wasted, because we start to, it's like that. Yes, you start climbing from deep down, you start climbing, you see things different, you smell things different. I think it's imperative that we make ourselves priorities. It's not a selfish act. I think that is the most giving act you can possibly do, is take in for yourself, because then what you produce outward is going to be so magical.
Well, and to add to that, and I want to just shout out to my friend Priscilla. Priscilla, it's so funny. I was literally thinking about you, going, Priscilla, come on today. Priscilla, come on today. Like of all people, and there you go. You
Well,
popped up.
and my cousin Priscilla Rua, I hope she's still on.
Yes,
I love you,
preciosa. Yep,
Caminan.
yep.
I was like, that's when I waved like that as you were talking, because it is exciting. Priscilla's.
So Madeline wrote this. I have tolerated disrespect so much in my life that now I don't personally I understand that it was my own fault. I cared the least for myself. When we're talking about putting yourself first, right? We do have to clarify. We've said this numerous times. We've had shows on this. Putting yourself first, there is self-centered, and then there's centered self.
Yep.
Okay. Because self-centered just says me. I deserve, I'm entitled, screw you. I don't care. It's all about me. I don't care who I hurt. It's me first. My feelings come first. Doesn't matter. Centered self means I come first because I understand that I have something to offer to people and the world, and my energy. Oh, there we go.
I'm here.
The phone was drinking. And my energy is, I want to be a better human. I want to be a better version of myself. You will not please every single person, but your goal is, as you are becoming clearer on yourself and putting yourself first, you are honoring self, but also honoring the fact that other people have their own path, their own story, and you will veer out of the way if what you're doing is interfering and causing issues to other people. You just move out of the way. It's not no, you have to abide by what I'm doing. It has to be my way or else. That's manipulation, that's control, and that's self-centered. Centered self is, listen, I respect your path. Please respect my path. I don't care if you don't. I mean, I really don't care if you don't respect my path, but I'm asking nicely, and I'm going to go do my thing. And if my path does not work for you, I that's fine, but I'm going to do my own thing, and I honor yours, and I hope you find your way. And that's the beauty of it, because as you become more aware of your surroundings, you become much more compassionate, much more empathetic, and you understand people better as you understand yourself better. Because you could admit your vulnerabilities, you could celebrate your strengths, you could look at yourself and say, what can I offer people, whether I'm saying it or I'm doing it, but not with an expectation that they have to say or do what I'm doing. Because you're just merely saying, this is the way I work. If you connect with that and it works for you, wonderful. If not, I'm not going to dislike you. If you're not a respectful person, I have to say that I like being respectful, and I believe in people respecting me. If that's not how you live your life and you're a jerk, then you do your thing. But I don't want to be around you because because I believe through discernment that you are a jerk.
Well, and we have every right. See, what I don't get is the philosophy that goes around today is, oh, you shouldn't tell people the truth because many can't handle it. I'm like, I'm not out here blurting out people's truths to them. Just don't ask me if you're not ready to hear it. I'm not the one to come to. If and then you're gonna argue with me. But yes, I am. But yes, well, then why you ask me? I'm never going to. Again, the giraffe and the turtle, right? You meet everybody where they're at, meaning you accept them for what you see and you hear, but you have to set your boundaries. They're not going to ask you what your boundaries are. So of course, that's what it is. You are who you are. This is who I am, but don't come in my gate without knocking. And then like that, we'll always be happy. Discernment means I'm going to accept you for who you are. I may not like you, but because I have my boundaries, I know we're not going to clash unless we do.
Yeah.
And some people don't understand boundaries. There's a lot of people who don't have common sense.
Yes.
That we can, we don't walk around wearing a whole cartel over here saying, these are my boundaries. No, you speak on them. When you're going through stuff, you speak on them, or they'll know off rip because of your energy, right? And we've we've encountered that. Like, there's people who have met us both, and then they're just talking whatever. It doesn't interest me, so I'll be like, Iris, I'll be outside. So next time they just only go to Iris, and I'm so okay with that, because again, my time is my time, and it's okay to have conversation. It's okay to have, just sit together and bullshit. That's fine. I'm fine with it. But sometimes spiritually, I don't need to be everywhere with everyone, and I will excuse myself. And some people might think I'm being standoffish or something. And again, that's not my business. I'm protecting my peace and my energy at all costs. And I've done well with that here on the Camino. And Iris done well with every time she meets people. They're really excited to see her. So that works for me. I'm not your hostess with the mostest, never been. So if we've had a common link, like some people we met a couple towns ago, that we just sat there and we just had the most intellectual conversations. It was like 6 of us. And to me, that's orgasmic for me. And so, but I want to sit there and just all the time and just be talking about dilly-dallying around. It's not that I'm feeling better. It's just, it's time. I could be reading something, I could be observing something, I could just be sitting back reading people's body language as they're, walking hand in hand. I find that intriguing more than just sitting there and just listening. And that's just how I am. Not everybody's like that. People can sit there and listen to people talk about the 50 um ampollas, blisters that they have. That's fine. Are you taking care of it? Here, you want some peroxide? We help. Iris been curing people all along the way and cleaning out their wounds and stuff. We're like, we're the Puerto Rican grandmas or the Puerto Rican mamas. That's how they refer to us, the bunch of young people. Um, but because I am true to who I am, it doesn't bother me. If my way of being bothers you, then you have to just check yourself, because it has nothing to do with me. Because everywhere I walk, I'm true to myself. If I like it, fine. If I don't like it, fine. If I don't care about it, fine. And I think that going beyond my limits is accepting people where they are. Where before I'm like, don't even talk to. Why are you talking to me? I don't like you. Now I don't even think that way anymore. Now it's like, hey, how you doing? Because it doesn't cost a thing to say that. So
That's
I
right.
know I have grown in that way. And I'm very happy and I love it, my amazing self. I love it. I'm amazing with some rough edges. And I think when you're true to yourself, when you've taken time out to understand yourself, to learn yourself, to just bond with yourself, then you're okay saying no. You're okay discussing your boundaries. You're okay waving, you know, three fences down the, hey, how you doing? Good, I'm happy for you, and going back inside your house. That's all the conversation that needs to be. But you need to reach a place and grow into yourself and not outside of yourself. Growing beyond your limits is, who am I? And I know I can be more than what I am today. Because I know I can be more than what I am today. And yesterday, it just taught me I'm on the right path. Because all I said was, I didn't even yell it. I just said in a very firm voice when she threw her plate. And I was like, I read to you, and I just pointed up to the menu. But I guess my face said a whole other story. So I don't know. I don't know. But I'm okay with who I am, and I'm even better with who I'm growing into. Because that's a fact in my life right now. Because I've taken the time to go and stretch, and it hurts. It hurts stretching. It hurts with my right foot pain, and my arch felt like it was a rubber band gonna pop, and we're walking up, and we're walking, and we're walking.
Don't own it. Don't own the pain.
Exactly.
It's not.
Exactly.
It's
I
not my
walk.
pain. It's
I even
the
walk
pain.
faster, and I walk
The
faster because,
pain.
to me, walking slow, it's enabling. It's babying the pain. I don't have time for that. And I was thinking about other things, and I'm walking, and I'm walking, and so that is stretching beyond your limits. Pain is can be paralyzing to people. I have high tolerance for pain. I don't expect anybody to deal with pain the way I deal with pain. But I know for me, that's my number one priority, is me. And then I can be a better mom to my grown ass children. And I can be that fun, crazy, mentoring grandma to my grandkids, because I'm good. And growing beyond your limits, it's something that we have to all aspire to do. We have to find and cultivate that self-trust, self-belief, into that self-love, that we know we're not going to be perfect. Not We're never going to be perfect. We're never going to get it right. We're never going to truly, truly, truly know everything, but we're going to know thyself.
Yes.
Walking in that truth alone, you can walk anywhere by yourself. You can go have dinner at a fancy restaurant by yourself, take yourself to the movies. You can do anything by yourself and then enjoy it with other people. But it's within you. And what's Gail's favorite word? You gotta find your flow.
Yes.
Find your flow. Because it's not like mine. It's not like the badass Buddhas. It's not like your mama's. It's your flow. And then you can pa'lante, pa'lante.
And the only way you find your flow is, again, it's to be finding yourself, being honest with yourself, and then admitting to what your limits are, and then taking action to say, how can I get beyond this? And sometimes it could be just as much as understanding and saying, okay, I really want this, but I'm getting in my own way. And then
Absolutely.
admitting it to people that you know can assist you. Like I will admit one thing that I definitely have had challenge with for my entire life is balancing my finances. I sink and swim basically. There's moments where I've got so much money coming in and it's great, and then all of a sudden it's like right at the bottom. So number one, I'm tired of that up and down. Number two, I want to be able to take the money that I get and divvy it out appropriately, so that it's just steady. It's nice and steady. So I still could do the things that I want, but maybe weed out the things that really are not necessary for me. Understand why I feel a need to purchase something. And so I have I'm putting my house up for sale up north. And, I want to make sure that whatever money I get from this house, that I take care of the things that need to be taken care of properly. And then if there's money left over, to use it appropriately. So I've met so many people networking, and some of them are financial people. And I felt very comfortable enough to say to them, listen, I'm going to be very vulnerable with you. And I'm going to tell you like this. I'm going to tell you about me. I'm going to tell you the parts of myself that are very vulnerable. And I'm going to tell you that I need assistance. And so they were so kind and so wonderful and said, okay, listen, don't worry about it. As soon as you're ready to do this, let me know. We'll start working out before everything starts to happen, but it's going to be started before, like just as I'm getting ready to list the house. If when we sell it, like through the process, they're going to assist me. I've never done that in my whole life. I've never asked for assistance financially. And when you get to a point in your life and you say, I have to admit the fact that I've really not made great choices financially in my life, and I'm a resilient person and I can do this, but I obviously can't do it myself. Like I do need assistance with people who know how to do this, not asking people for advice and stuff. Go to the people that know how to do it, because it's time. If I had done that years ago, and I'm just going to throw that scenario out there, that I might have been in a different place. So, and the beautiful part about it is because again, it's getting beyond. That's not comfortable for me. It's not comfortable for me to admit it. It's not comfortable to me to admit it to other people that are in that realm, because they're doing it right, and they have a lot of money saved and put in certain areas. So I definitely got out of my comfort zone. I said to myself, what is it that I want? I want financial stability. I want financial freedom. And why do I want it? And I have my reasoning. And then what am I going to do to get it? Well, I'm going to make better choices. I'm going to make the right choices for me. How am I going to do that? I have to have assistance. I can't do it myself, because I've gone down this route before and I did not, and I just watched it come and then I watched it go. So that will not play out again, because I'm tired of the same play. Like I've played that record before. I've worn it out. We're done with it. It's time to move on to the next phase. The only way I'm going to move on to the next phase is to change the game plan. It's that insanity definition, doing the same thing over and over again, expecting a different outcome. I know who the problem is when it comes to my finances. It is me. It is my lack of understanding, my lack of willingness to understand prior. And now that will change. So that's beyond limits for me. So go ahead.
That's marvelous, because you know what? That's why they're doing their job, is for people like you to come to them. And sometimes we're like embarrassed to go to them because they got it together. Well, that's why they're helping us. So that's good. But you said something prior to your story, which is wonderful. And I'm just like you. And that's when I go home, I have an appointment with somebody as well. But you said something about sharing your stuff with people and choosing the right people to share with. And everybody in here knows I'm very spiritual. I'm very Yahweh, always in my conversations with him. But yes, you got to be careful, because you know what, people who you may think want to hear your story to help you, or that are gonna direct you, remember, for those of mi gente that are out there, a lot of them are monitoring spirits, dressed up as your friends, as your business partners, as your family, and they just want to hear all your problems, and then it's like they'll keep you there or going more down. So when you are discussing certain issues, um, the badass Buddha already spoke to these people. She's already dealing with that. It's done. Nobody can interfere with it. Prior to you doing things and you share it with people, I never believed that, because I believe what's for me is for me, but there's detours that will be taken. So I would say, regardless of what you're going through, just be aware. When you wake up in the morning, after you say your gratitude prayer, activate your five senses. After you say thank you for this new day, give me clarity, give me direction, let me be um, intentional in my gratitude today, and then activate them every morning. You see, you smell, you taste, you hear, you feel, and you touch. And make sure they're all activated. So when you come into contact with spirits, just as people, you're going to know who's who and who is not for you.
Yes.
Because a lot of our times we grew up, the badass Buddha and I don't know, we did have different backgrounds, but somewhere along the line, we must have meshed our roads, or we traveled the same roads, because
I
here we
agree.
age, we have all these brilliant ideas. Many of them we've already put into play, but yet that one thing of the financial thing always went astray. It always got away from us some way, even though we've said year after year we're going to be better at it.
Yes.
Okay, so it's and that is such a great awareness to have of yourself, because then you do something about it. You do something to set yourself up for the future. So again, I would say, and protect your energy at all cost. And that's one thing I had. That's why I walk away from certain people when I was just having conversations or whatever. I just, this is my camino, you know. And twice it wasn't people. I had gotten so dizzy I almost fell. I
Mhm.
almost tipped sideways. Uh, and it was passing this old house at the foot of the mountain. I went right past it, and I was like, Iris, the house was around here I saw 7 years ago that actually pulled me back off the camino, and I stood in front of it. But it was more dilapidated now. Iris said, I think we passed it as we're getting, and I said, oh my God, I never felt this way. What's this feeling? And I said, is it close? She goes, yeah, why? I said, because everything inside of me felt like it was spinning so bad that I was nauseous. And then I went up to it and I put my hands on the stones that were left, and they were so warm. We touched the stones, and the house next to it, they were ice cold. The house was warm.
Wow.
Yesterday on the mountain, we went into the church, the first church that I've stepped into through my whole camino. There's a church or two in every village, city, forest. They are freezing. Some of them were bone chilling cold. I walked in here, I looked at Iris, I said, it is warm in here. And at one point, I'm walking, it felt like something pushed me. And if the wall wasn't there, I would have fallen. And I just looked at it, I lit my candles, and I had to walk out. I stood in there praying. So it was spiritual encounters
Wow.
throughout for those who can't understand. Um, and so I'm on the right track protecting my energy, because it was with no this last week and a half, because in the beginning there was. So I'm saying is just be aware. We have how would we say it, badass? Those family members that only want to come to your house to see what you got going on and then go gossip about it. That's how monitoring spirits are. So I think when you find your niche, when you find just who you are, where you plan on going, nothing that has to do with your past, because that's behind you, you can discern who's who. And I think at this day and age where everything going on all around us, we must make our whole existence a priority, because your road is waiting for you to walk on. But we're not going to be able to do that if we are doing the same shit day in and day out, when you know there's a different path.
Yes.
So stretch yourself beyond the limits that you have known and that you are currently on. After the show, we try to give you something to do always after the show. But I would say, write down that vision you've had. And remember, we say this all the time: do not share your visions with people who have no goals, because they will convince you your idea is silly or that you can't. So, where do you see yourself from today and 3 months from today? Let's do quarterly. What are May, June, July, August? Where do you see yourself? Where do you see yourself growing? How much do you see yourself saving so we can all go to the Badass Buddha's country dance? I mean, it's doable. We can all pop up like slut magic in Tennessee, right?
That sounds good to me. We have room. Listen, this is the last week, okay? The last week of May, the push month. And on Thursday, again, we're having a little fun. The Thursdays is building stamina. And we're talking about making it better, harder, faster, stronger. Remember that what don't kill me makes me stronger. So it's about, this is the last hurrah. This is the last push. And then June is ready, set, go. Like, okay, so this is what you're going to do. Now it's time to do it. You become aware of the things that you want. You become aware of your limitations. You become aware of what you need to do to get beyond your limitations. And in case you did not start for this month, June is let's do it. Let's go. Let's take the action. So we're asking you between now and this weekend to be very, very clear by Friday, really. Be very clear on what you want, why you want it, what are you going to do to get it? And then those other questions is, what can I do on my own? How can others assist me? What can others assist me with? What is my time frame? And what additional materials do I need to get? Like, do I need more education? Do I need to research things? Do I need to study things? Do I need money for this? Do I need time off? And any of those things which normally get in our way and make us an excuse, oh, I don't have the time or I don't have the money. Let's say you need to do something in your yard and you really want this to be done. Well, I don't really have the time to do it. And I don't really have the money to do it. Is there anybody that you can ask that that's capable of doing it and say, I will do a trade with you? So if you could come and give me 2 hours of your time and help me do this, or maybe assist you to do it, and I will make you a really great meal. Like I'll make you enough food for the week. Or I will, if in my case, I do chiropractic, I do body work, like massage therapy. It's not massage therapy, but it's like that. I could say, listen, I'll trade you. If you could come over and help me with this, I can do this for you. The worst you could get is, no, I'm sorry, that won't work for me. Or you could get, hey, you know what? That's not a bad idea. I don't mind.
Mm-hmm.
Or maybe I can offer a half a day, Like I have so much work to do on this yard and this property. There's been moments where I've actually thought about putting an ad on Facebook and saying, I would, if you want to help me do these things, I will trade you for this, and see if that would work. Because some people just like doing stuff like this, like I could have a whole exercise program of people say, you like to work out? Well, this you could do. You don't even have to pay a gym. You can come, sweat, and then I get this work done. You can haul logs up from, the bottom half of the property, and that'll be the hell of a workout you'll ever get. You won't even get that workout at the gym. But there's ways for us to do things when we think outside that box. Because if we say, well, this needs to be done before this gets done, So that prevents you from going to that next step because this needs to be done first. And sometimes that happens. Sometimes that's necessary to go on to the next step. Well, stop making excuses why this is not done. Say, okay, why am I dragging my feet? Why am I? Well, I don't know how to do it. Who can I ask? Ask people in your circle. Hey, does anybody know how to do this? Do you know how to do this? Because I'm not sure. There will always be somebody that will, there's going to be somebody that knows, or they're going to be able to direct you. Hey, no, I don't know, but I know this person might. Now, this person might want to be paid to do it. Okay, listen, I don't have it in my budget. Maybe we can work something out. Or could you direct me to somebody that might be able, like a video or thing that does it, like that I could use for free, and then, build off of that. And those that are really good people that understand abundant mindset, they'll direct you, because they're not going to look at it and go, I'm losing money. Why am I going to send you to a free site? They're going to say, if I direct this person's going to say, this person helped me. They could have sold me something, but they chose not to. They knew I was on a budget. So instead, they said, hey, try this first. And then if that doesn't work, then come back to me and I'll see what else we can do. Maybe I'll give you a little bit and you just pay me what you can. That is the beauty. And the more you are clear on who you are, own your truth, know thyself, you will be able to attract all those people to you, and you weed out the people that are not those people, but no judgment on them. You get a person that's into sales and they really want to sell you their product after you told them, I'm really on a budget, I cannot afford your thing. Well, I can't help you. Thank you. I appreciate that. You are correct. And then you're done. You get somebody else who says, you know what, I charge this amount. However, this is what I recommend you do first. This is who, there's another person you can talk to, blah, blah, blah. And then listen, if you need anything else, just get back to me and then maybe we can work out something. Beautiful. Beautiful.
Well, the thing is, know yourself enough to know that it's okay to ask. And there's only two answers, a yes or no. And if you mentally prepare yourself for either one, then there's nothing you cannot ask anybody for.
Right.
That's just how it is. And I'm reading what you wrote, and not only did I say it backwards and you wrote it wrong, it's do not share your goals with people with no visions. I apologize for that. But yeah, just put it out there. All they can say is no, and then you go to the next person. Wasn't it the guy that we like to listen to that said that he likes to ask for every no he got more encouraged to continue asking until he got that yes? Wasn't it Les Brown?
Say that again. Say that
That
again.
that when he first went out there he used to sell stuff, and he said he never got like he never felt bad or never felt
when he said
with a no.
Yes, that was Les
He
Brown.
prefers to get the first 100 no's until he gets his yeah, because then that yeah is the one.
That's right. Yeah.
So again, fear out the window, or like we were raised since we were little. El miedo se deja en la gaveta. You leave the fear in the top drawer every morning, and you go about your day. Because that is the only thing that's holding you back from becoming the best you, from getting everything done that you need to do, so that when you can sit back at the end of the day, you can breathe really profound and really, really at ease, because you did the best you could with the time in that day that you had. And then there's celebration for yourself. Celebrate every accomplishment you do, because without that, just celebrate. That's what I've been telling Iris. You got to celebrate. Don't talk to me about your knee pain. Talk to me how you climbed this mountain. You want to hear about the knee pain.
Yes. Yeah.
It's look what you have done, and all you're focusing on is the knee pain.
Yes.
So that's why she's writing what she's writing. We had a couple words last night, but sometimes we need to get into that blah 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 in order for it to settle in. But know thyself. That was when you said that, I was like, ooh, my heart fluttered. Know thyself. No one, don't assume anybody else should know you, your man, your mother, your father, your kids. No, especially if you don't know yourself. Just learn.
And that's the irony. That's the irony. Do you know, I lived that motto for years. Not the good one. I'm saying I lived the motto that everybody else should know me, but I never knew myself. And boy, did that slap, that kicked me in the ass. I mean, that really did. When I woke up to what my life truly was and who was in it and what people were doing to me, because I chose to be blind to it, because I refused to learn about who I was and and knowing myself, and focused on the outside. It was really, it was the best thing that could have ever happened to me. Really was the best thing that could have ever happened to me,
A
because
great wake-up call.
yeah, it was I had so many wake-up calls over the years, but they were not powerful enough to get to slap me into consciousness. And that last one woke me. That last one said, you're going to keep going this route, because you're just going to, you're either going to end your life or you're going to keep going. And if you're going to end your life, it's because you just still didn't learn, and you
And
still
ending your life means not growing. You're still breathing. You're still doing the same shit day in and day out. You're just not growing. So you're existing, or are you thriving? You're existing, you're thriving. That's what it is. Are you busy doing, or are you busy being? Choose the latter. Just spend time. Spend time. Dedicate time. Invest your time into yourself, because that investment is money. Money is currency. Currency is energy. It all goes right back to you.
Yep.
Okay.
And with that, we are going to bid you adieu, and we will see you on Thursday for our final episode for May, and then we get ready for June. So thank you, Gladiator Guru, for that beautiful scenery behind you. It's just so lovely.
Isn't it?
Yeah. Gotta love that virtual background. She's not really in Spain. She's only making it up.
Hold on. Before we go, let me just show you.
Yeah,
I don't know if
please.
you can see the mountains up over there.
Yep.
And that this is the patio we have here, and then this is the outskirts of the village where the natives live, I guess. But then over here is all where we're at.
Yeah.
So it's very beautiful.
Yeah. Well, be safe. We'll see you on Thursday, Gladiator Guru. And everybody, thanks for coming on today. And from the Badass Buddha, remember, be you, be real, and be extraordinary.
And from the Gladiator Guru, mi gente, from the words of a wise student back to the teacher, breathe in the beauty and breathe out the bullshit. Namaste.